the Bayer secret they buried before anyone found out. In 1985, Bayer sat on internal test results showing a blood-clotting product it sold worldwide was contaminated with a virus that causes AIDS, and by the time the company finally pulled it from Western shelves, thousands of hemophiliacs were already infected. The public got a quiet recall notice. They never got the memo. So why, 40 years later, does almost nobody know Bayer's name belongs in that story? Because the company made sure of it. Here's what they actually did. To the outside world, Bayer was the aspirin company, a German pharmaceutical giant founded in 1863, the name stamped on medicine cabinets in 100 countries. Trustworthy. Boring, even. In the early 1980s, one of its American subsidiaries, Cutter Biological, made something called Factor VIII, a blood-clotting concentrate that let hemophiliacs live normal lives instead of bleeding out from a paper cut. For families with hemophilia, Cutter wasn't just a company. It was the reason their kids could go to school. Then came 1984. Cutter's scientists learned their Factor VIII was being made from plasma pooled from paid donors, prisoners, plasma center regulars, people at high risk for HIV. Blood banks were already sounding alarms. By early 1985, Cutter had developed a safer, heat-treated version of the product that killed the virus. They had the fix sitting in the building, but the old, untreated stock was still on shelves, and pulling it meant admitting what it might be carrying. Executives chose not to recall it. Internal memos from that year show the company knew exactly what was at stake and calculated the cost of silence was lower than the cost of the truth. Here's the part that turns this from negligence into something colder. Cutter didn't just delay the recall in the US. It kept shipping the old, untreated Factor VIII to Asia and Latin America, months after switching American hospitals to the safer version. Internal documents later surfaced showing employees flagged the contamination risk and were overruled. A company that knew its product could carry a fatal virus made a business decision about which customers were worth protecting and which weren't. That's not an oversight. That's a spreadsheet. But that's not even the part they really didn't want out. The real scale of what happened wasn't a handful of infections, it was thousands. Public health researchers later estimated that tainted Factor VIII infected more than 10,000 hemophiliacs worldwide with HIV, and a similar number with hepatitis C, through products distributed well into the mid-1980s. In places like Japan and Hong Kong, where the untreated stock kept shipping, victims and their families spent decades fighting for answers Cutter never volunteered. Entire hemophiliac communities were decimated, fathers, sons, brothers, gone within a few years of each other, and for a long time nobody outside those families connected the deaths to a boardroom decision made an ocean away. And here's the twist almost no one talks about. Bayer didn't just avoid ruin, it kept growing. Cutter Biological quietly settled thousands of lawsuits, mostly under confidentiality agreements that kept the internal memos out of public view for years. No Cutter or Bayer executive ever faced criminal charges in the United States. Japan brought criminal cases against pharmaceutical officials there, and Bayer's Japanese unit paid settlements. But the people who made the actual 1985 decision to keep shipping untreated product walked away with their careers intact. Some were promoted. The system that was supposed to catch this, regulators, oversight boards, the FDA, had the same documents Cutter did and moved slower than the virus. That's the part that never lines up. A company can knowingly ship a product it suspects is lethal to customers it's decided don't warrant the upgrade, and the accountability ends at a settlement check with a non-disclosure clause attached. No prosecutor's name is attached to this story. No CEO's mugshot. Just quiet payouts, sealed records, and a corporate name that today still means aspirin to most people who hear it. So think about that memo from 1985, the one where they already had the safer product and shipped the old one anyway. That decision didn't happen in a vacuum. It happened inside a system of regulators, distributors, and executives who all had a chance to stop it and didn't. And that system, The one that let a company choose profit over a known, fatal risk and pay its way out when it got caught hasn't been rebuilt. It's still the system pharmaceutical companies operate inside today. So the real question isn't what Bayer did in 1985. It's what's sitting in a memo like that one right now.